Namaste, Jaykumarji. So last class in the summary, you said, there are these 5 distinctions of bhakti, jnana yoga at the pinnacle, if you will, because a jnani is a para bhakta after all. Then you had awareness of Vishwarupa or Vishwarupa Upasana Yoga, then Ekarupa Upasana Yoga, and then you have Ishvaranapana Buddhi and then Prasada Buddhi, right? So that's how it was. So this verse 12, it's kind of the reverse, it's saying that, okay, maybe you're not a jnani yet. So for you, Prasada Buddhi is better than all these other things, etc., etc. Is it like that?
Yeah. So that's the way Chakracharya interprets it and says that what is most accessible to most people is the most superior.
Right. Correct. Yeah. Correct.
It's like saying,
yeah,
going to primary school. Going to primary school is the most superior. Because that you have to start there only.
That's why it's called primary.
It's called primary. There you go. That's it. That's why it's called primary. Good example. Yeah, that's the explanation Chakracharya gives.
Yeah. So then, and then speaking of Prasada Buddhi,
see, in third chapter, let's, while we are at it, right? Let's discuss this. Arjuna is constantly asking, which is superior, karma yoga or jnana?
Yeah.
Almost every chapter starts with this question. Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janatana tatkim karma kore mam niyojayasi keshava vyamishrin. So then he says, karma yoga is better for you. Better, he says. But you just told me you praise jnana. And then now you're saying karma yoga is better. Like this, so many shlokas are there. He says, Yat sankyam prapyate sthanam tad yogairapi gamyate ekam sankyam cha ekam yogam cha sankyam cha yah pashyati sa pashyati. In that same chapter, I think the 4th, 5th or 6th shloka is coming. And it says, what you can gain by knowledge, we can gain by karma yoga also. Yes, that. Yat sankhya prapyate sthanam tad yogaihi api gamyate. Ekam sankyam cha yogam cha. Sankhya yoga and karma yoga are the same. You see. Chakracharya writes a big commentary on that. Because what jnanam can do, karma cannot do. Correct? Having studied the Shastra, we know that. And so you can't quite say both are identical. But both are identical means what? What Karma Yoga can do means it is the one that prepares you for Jnana Yoga.
Antakarna Shuddhi.
And therefore, as Swamiji would say, Karma Yoga is incomplete without Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is not possible without Karma Yoga. Okay? And then somebody says, no, Jnanam, I want to take sannyasa right away. And then he takes sannyasa. Krishna gives another caution. He says what? Sannyasa Sannyasa baho dukkhamaptuma yogataha. He says, the life of a sannyasi, if it is not preceded by yoga, karma yoga, dukkhamaptum, it will become a life of sorrow. One has to earn sannyasa. One has to be very mature to take to sannyasa. That is what Krishna is saying. That. And so, therefore, karma yoga is superior because it's primary. It's like primary school. Therefore, don't ignore it. That's what he's saying.
Right.
Don't get enamored by all these things. Oh, jnanam, knowledge, atmavidya, brahmavidya, who am I, etc. Yeah, it's all good. But just don't ignore this daily life. Don't ignore your attitude with which you're doing. Don't ignore all the situations where you're getting upset. And gain that prasada buddhi. Gain the ability to deal with situation properly and objectively. Let dharma rule my roost rather than convenience. Convenience, okay, whatever convenient also I'll do, but not at the expense of dharma. Don't ignore all these things, he's saying. Don't ignore Ishvara, Pujanam, etc. Start doing. Develop that bandha with Ishvara, because there's no karma yoga without Ishvara. All this not to be ignored. That is the way I'm reading all this.
Right. And in another chapter, it's mentioned that prasade sarva dukkhanam hani rasyopajayate.
Correct. Second chapter, prasade sarva dukkhanam. Such a profound statement it is. He says, just prasada buddhi is enough. Sarva dukkhanam hani. You will not have sorrow anymore, he says. He's giving such an importance to prasada buddhi. Correct. Vidya is brought up a very good point.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've seen that, Jayakumarji, you mentioned, people who have not studied Shastram also. I've seen it among so many elders.
Yeah.
In my family and also among friends and so on, elders who have that resilience, because of prasada buddhi.
What resilience they have.
Yeah.
Because of culture and earlier janmas, vasanas.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's how you should understand this verse, right? This 12. That's why dhyanat karma phalatyagaha. That is, so there the dhyanam is which one in that distinction you mentioned, the distinctions in the bhakti?
Yeah, that is the way we ordered it, right? First one is what? Abhyasa.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Shreyo jnanam abhyasa.
Yeah. So abhyasa is meditation. Meditation without knowledge. Jnanam is knowledge without meditation. Okay. Then the third one is dhyanam. Dhyanam is meditation come knowledge. Fourth one is karma phala tyaga. So that's why you have to just reinterpret all the words. All the words have to be reinterpreted.
So I'm a little confused now. Can you?
No, you're little confused is all right. So many people are very confused.
That's because I'm your student, little confused.
Go ahead.
So you're saying, so you said knowledge is better indeed than the practice of yoga. Yoga, I thought, was karma yoga here, right? No?
See, knowledge is indeed superior to dhyanam. Okay, dhyanam. That is the way we have translated that, because that's what jnanam abhyasa. Okay, there abhyasa is dhyanam. Okay, Shankaracharya's word, right? Abhyasa is dhyanam without knowledge.
Oh.
Abhyasa is equal to dhyanam without knowledge.
Okay.
He said what? Jnana purvaka Ishvara Chintanam or something, he uses that word. Okay, Shankaracharya. So then it follows. If you use that different meanings for these words, meditation without knowledge, knowledge without meditation, knowledge plus meditation, and then karma phala tyaga, prasada buddhi.
Okay, so abhyasa, abhyasa is dhyanam without knowledge.
Correct.
Then the
next word is jnanam. In this shloka, the next word is jnanam, right?
Yeah.
So that is knowledge without dhyanam, without chintanam. Knowledge without dhyanam. Or knowledge without meditation, if you want to use the English word.
But meditation less knowledge.
Correct. Knowledge less meditation, meditation less knowledge. Third one is meditation plus knowledge, meditation come knowledge.
Whatever four you have given, I will put it in the chat.
Okay. And fourth one is prasada buddhi. primary school. Prasada buddhi is critical to get into this. Yeah. Because that prevents me from being reactive. If I don't have prasada buddhi, I will be reactive, right? And be reactive.
Yeah.
That primary knowledge should continue, right?
Correct. Previously, prasada buddhi has to be deliberate. I must deliberately invoke it. I'm about to react. Then I have to slowly kind of say, no, yeah, it's not good at all. And I have to somehow invoke the prasada. No, this is how it's meant to be. But for a jnani, also prasada buddhi needed. Why? Because life is there. The clock is ticking, life is there, body is there, the heart is beating, everything is there. All kinds of things is going to happen. And so, for that person, prasada buddhi should become natural. There is no need for deliberation. The question, why did it happen to me, will not arise at all. Or why should it happen to me? All these questions will not arise. Ideally, right? Ideally. Yeah. Yeah, Girish ji is there. Vaidya, if you don't have any questions.
Yeah. This is clear now. So abhyasa, jnanam, dhyanam, and then prasada buddhi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Jnanam, again, same thing. Dhyanam without knowledge, knowledge without dhyanam, and jnanam plus dhyanam. And then karma, prasada buddhi.
Yeah. So what does knowledge without dhyana mean really?
Unassimilated jnana.
I see.
It's knowing things, but not really fully assimilated. It's like saying E is equal to MC square.
Got it. Without knowing what the significance of that statement is. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, Girish ji. There you go. Hari Om.
Yeah. When it comes to moksha, actually there are various definitions, and out of that, one is putting an end to our life cycle, birth and death, or samsara sagara. And how is it possible to experience when we are alive?
How is it possible? Again, ask the question again.
No. Moksha, we have got various definitions. And one among them is putting an end to our life cycle or coming to an end of this samsara sagara. Okay. Now, we are also claiming that it is possible to experience when we are alive. It is not. Right. So, how do we actually explain that and connect it?
May I say something?
Yeah.
Somehow I thought, it's me, Guruji. Suddenly the thought came into my mind. You don't have to die to get knowledge. So how does your question figure? You don't have to die. You are living and living liberated.
Right. So to answer that question, samsara nivritti. See, you have to see this. I don't want to. I want to be released from the cycle of birth and death. Okay. Everybody says that. Every Hindu will say that.
Yeah.
Whether the person has even heard the word Bhagavad Gita, and he will say that. Because that's part of the language. That's part of the culture. It comes. And what they mean, if you ask them what do you mean by that, they may not know how to explain it also.
Agreed.
What they mean is what? I want to be free from sorrow. I know that if I am born again, that life is going to include sorrow in it, along with sukha. There will be dukkha also. And I don't want dukkha. I don't mind sukha, but unfortunately, the sukha and dukkha seems to have a knack of coming together. And I don't want the dukkha. So what to do? I had to give up sukha also. And so therefore, I don't want to be born. If somebody gave a formula to say, I have a way in which I can give you a life with only sukha, but no dukkham.
Hmm.
You know what life that is? That is a formula. That is a formula. Vaikuntha formula. Kailasa formula is that formula. Where you go there and that's it. There is no sukha, dukkham at all. It's all sukha. Pure bhoga, sukha bhoga. That is what people want. See, Girishji, sometimes I have to disagree with you also. I want to be free from the cycle of birth and death, but I want to be born in Kailasa. They are contradictory statements. I want to be born in Vaikuntha, Golok, Vrindavan. Contradictory statements. Is it not? See, I want to be free from birth. But then why are you saying then why should you be born in Golok, Vrindavan and do Dandiya with Krishna and the gopis? Contradictory, correct? Contradictory. These people are not clear. That's all we are saying. That's okay. That's how people are. But we as students of Vedanta have to understand what is samsara. Yeah. Just leading a life is not samsara. Life without properly knowing what it is called samsara.
Okay. Okay.
It is called samsara. A child will cry when a balloon is burst. But the parents will not cry when the balloon bursts. Why? Same samsara, right? Same life only. Same balloon, everything. But what is the difference between the two? There is some
Knowledge.
difference.
Growing.
Correct. That is what makes the difference. And so that makes a difference in this life itself. We don't have to die in order for that difference to kick in. That is what distinguishes Advaita Vedanta from everything else.
Okay.
What we are studying here, yeah?
Agree.
Guruji, one thing. So actually, common person, people like all of us, we don't know about birth again. Okay, whether it happens or not, we believe in rebirth, but then that we don't know about it. So our moksha aspiration should be only for this birth only. Moksha from what we are going through now, right? A person going through even sukha now can still want moksha here and now.
Last sentence, repeat again, last sentence.
I'm
a person going
sukha, well, say he is not having dukha, which will come at some point in time or has come earlier also. For him also, moksha is equally important, right?
Why do you think for him also moksha is equally important?
Because he has seen dukkha coming earlier. Now sukha has come. Again, dukkha might come. So he wants to have that state where he is out of that dukkha and sukha in this birth itself. Not forget about future birth.
Correct. So, the important question is, we don't know anything about next birth. All that is there for us is this birth, this life. Okay? And so, let's deal with this life first. Let's first learn to lead this life properly, as opposed to working for an escape from this life.
Correct.
Huh? Only Advaita Vedantics are talking like this. I don't see anybody else talking like this. See, because for everybody else, moksha is after death. You be a good person today. You be a follower of, you be a Krishna Bhakta, etc. And then you'll get moksha. For a person like me, it is not satisfactory answer. It's not a satisfactory answer. For me, moksha is here and now. That is what I'm interested in.
And
Otherwise,
if that is the case, Guruji, if that is the case, then why we are contradicting it? Because if that is the case, we will stick only to the definition of liberation from the bondage. Okay, bondage, means sukha, dukkha, whatever it is, from there. But we are also telling that we are putting an end to the life cycle of life and death. That is where the question comes.
Yeah, Vishishta Advaitis also will say exactly the same thing. Yeah, we will end your life of your cycle of life, birth and death will end. How? By going to Vaikuntha. Just one more birth is there. You be born there. After that, you are not going to die at all. That's a great deal, I think. I think that's a great deal. Because you're going to be born in a life and then no death after that means that is what it is. Release from the cycle of birth and death. They also say the same thing. We say that even that one birth is not needed. And we say, in fact, you have no idea where you're going to be born next.
I agree.
So better deal with it right now, properly. That is what we say.
Is a bird in the hand better than two in the bush?
No. I don't want to bring all that. This is not bird in the hand, etc. You have to understand, diagnose the problem properly. That's it. We have to come back to the basics here. We can't apply our management logic into Vedanta. It won't work. It won't work. Diagnose the problem properly. Correct? What is this samsara? You have to understand crystal clear. You have to be. What is samsara? Define it. Dukkha, dukkha, dukkha. Okay. What is the cause of this dukkha? Be clear. What is the cause of the dukkha? Is this birth itself cause of dukkha? Then you have to leave this birth. Correct. Then you have to go to some other birth. If that is my diagnosis, who are you? You are born here to suffer. And therefore now we will help you get to the next birth. That's one particular model. But diagnosis, samsara is due to a mistaken identity. If Shastram says, the whole path is different, whole thinking process is different, the end game is different, it's here and now. Correct? So that's a beauty. It's also Shastram. Okay. So this is
Guruji, I heard, I think Swami Paramarthanji, I think, maybe Ramuji will know. So there he gives a very simple definition of moksha, maybe just for simple people like us. He says a mind that is not shattered and flattered is moksha. It doesn't get shattered or flattered. That itself is moksha, he says. Interesting definition. Make it very
neither you can flatter the person, nor you can depress the person, right? That is what shattered or flattered. Yeah. See, that's the effect of moksha. He is telling it like that for you to understand, because we can understand flattery and shattering, right? Both we can understand. So it's the effect of moksha.
A non-reactive mind.
So, suppose somebody asks me, who is a rich person? Who is a rich, wealthy person? Because you don't see anybody's wealth. A person who is sitting in an air-conditioned room is a wealthy person. Yes or no? A person who is never going hungry is a wealthy person.
Income more than needs.
But I give that definition. Then what? Then there are exceptions to that definition also, right? There are poor people also who don't go hungry. And occasionally a poor person also can be in an air-conditioned room also. So all these possibilities are there. But we understand the air-conditioned part, we understand hunger, we understand food. Therefore, the definition is given in that way so that you can grasp it. Then you have to be willing to change the definition later. Wealthy. Wealth means what? You have to define what wealth is, etc. So that is what. So yeah, that is what. Srita Prajnaha is the one who is neither shattered nor flattered. That's a good phrase to use. Shattered nor flattered. But like somebody else said, without Shastram also, there might be people who are neither shattered nor flattered. Okay. But that may or may not mean moksha. Okay. Correct. We have to think about this. We have to think about it. It's practical. From a practical perspective, that person is fine. Okay, if I'm neither shattered nor flattered, that's a reasonably good life to live.
Because Guruji, otherwise it is like we might have to say that only more people who are exposed to Shastras are in India, right? A lot of Westerners may not have the opportunity to go through Shastras, but don't they get moksha? Maybe there are people who get moksha, right?
Yeah. So again, going back, the way to answer the question is to diagnose the problem. And the problem is so well diagnosed that the solution also is crystal clear. It is not next janma, etc. It is not something to be believed. It is to be understood. And therefore, its finality is there. Finality is there. There is a firm conclusion to that journey. Okay. And therefore, it's open to anybody. It's open to anybody. That is why it is possible to teach anybody, and can be Westerner, it can be somebody who's not born here, etc. And yeah, that's the beauty of this. Yeah. Otherwise, what will happen? They have to quit one religion and come to another religion. Quit one set of beliefs and come to another set of beliefs. You have to quit Jesus and come to Krishna. For whatever reason. And you know what? It's a very tough sell. Yeah, I won't be able to sell that. I won't be able to sell that. I know that. Tough sell because it's one set of beliefs against another. And it's hard, based on beliefs, it's hard to prove or disprove anything. Based on beliefs alone, it's hard to prove or disprove anything. That's what I'm trying to say. So you can't say whether Hinduism, based on belief alone, you can't say Hinduism is a better religion or not. Christianity, you can't say that. Because both have this certain common set of beliefs are there. And only thing is the gods are different. Practices are different. You have to get into some of the essentials. Then only we get to see the differences. So, Vijay, are you still having any doubt in this matter or?
No, it's clear.
Yeah, good. Yeah, Satyaji, go ahead.
I have a comment and a question. I think most of the confusion is because we are talking about empirical world reality rather than absolute reality. If we believe in absolute reality, all these questions will disappear because there's no birth, there's no death. And second, the question is, it depends on how one defines moksha. If self-realization itself is moksha, then it can be achieved in this life and doesn't have to be waiting for the next life. And the third thing is, one of the books, scriptures, I think I learned that even in Devaloka, the life is limited to the period during which you exhaust all your good actions. So it is not permanent. It is not living forever, even in other lokas. I strongly believe there is an easy way to understand Advaita rather than other ways of dealing with life situations, life skills, acquiring life skills. Because once one believes in that consciousness is the essence of oneself, and there's no beginning or end to it, and one only exists. There's no second thing to consider. Am I right?
Yeah, and everything you said is right. And the last statement you made is formalized in our Shastram, and we convert the belief into knowledge. We use the word belief, and we will strengthen it by saying it's a fact to be understood. So, and that fact can be understood here only in this life, and so Jivan Mukti, etc. Yeah, everything you said is right.
Thank you.
Yeah, Vaidyaji, last question.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, build a little bit on what I think Vijayji was perhaps alluding to, in the sense that in terms of beliefs, you cannot say one religion is superior to the other because it's a clash of beliefs, right? It's what you believe versus what you don't. However, it's only in Hindu Dharma we have Vedanta, which we hold as the only means for knowledge. And while it is accessible to anybody anywhere in the world, it's only through Vedanta we can achieve moksha, right? So there is even in the Purusha Suktam, it says Nanya Panta Ayanaya Vidyate. I think that's a Nanya Panta Ayanaya Vidyate. That's what it means. There is no other way but this.
Yeah. So everybody says bondage is real. We say bondage is a superimposition.
Mhm.
If bondage is real, it cannot be removed. If bondage is real, it cannot be removed. Bondage has to be mithya. Bondage has to be a superimposition. Only then it can be removed.
Right.
So Advaita Vedanta is what? Trying to solve a problem that does not exist. It's a very bold statement.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
But it exists for me still. It does not exist, you say, but prove to me it does not exist. That is a good question to ask. Prove to me it does not exist. Yeah, that is the study.
Correct.
Trying to show that what appears absolutely real to me is really not absolutely real.
Correct. Correct. And it's only in Vedanta that this knowledge is there, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that is why I think that's a distinction we should make, I think.
So that's what. So for everybody else, Jiva is real, suffering is real, happiness is real, Swarga is real, this Bhuloka is real, everything is real. Therefore, within that so-called real world, all you can do is you can do some changes. You can eat different foods. You can shift. You can go from here to there. You can believe in different gods. And you can go to another locales. Part of that, Satyaji mentioned, empirical. It's all part of the empirical, phenomenal world only. It's all real for them. Hey, we are the only people who talk about mithya. It's a huge step forward. I'm telling you, everybody else considers the world to be Satyam. Yeah. All right. Good questions. Good satsangs. Thank you. We'll conclude. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantarye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.